Hello everyone, Nathan here from the Bible Animated, and today I'm going to be showing you how to create this hologram effect in Blender utilizing the internal render engine and freestyle. So hopping over into Blender, only thing that's going to matter as far as Blender version goes is that you do have the freestyle option, as that is pretty integral into what we're doing here. So yeah, as long as you have that, you will be alright. What I'm going to do is, okay, it already has the material. We are going to duplicate this cube 3 times. And now we're just doing this so we kind of have some depth going on here so we can see things as they kind of stack up. I'm going to go with that bluish color, shadeless, transparency, and alpha 0.25. We render this out so we can kind of see that it gets darker, or kind of in this case lighter, where there's multiple layers stacked on top of each other. Not really caring for that gray background, so I'm going to change the horizon color here to black to eliminate that. So we have our 4 cubes. Now we need to enable freestyle, and well, we'll just do render quick, see what that looks like. Okay, it's putting black lines on here. Cool, but not really what we want. So let's hop over into the layers tab, and we're going to create a new layer right off. And we're going to rename this one to freestyle, and then we're going to create 2 line sets, and in the first render layer I want to delete the line set. Now we have line set 1, which we are going to rename to, how about visible, because that's going to be using the visibility option, and line set 2 will be using the hidden, so we are going to rename that to hidden. And if we render this out now, we get a layer that has all of these black lines for every edge, and it still has the blue. Not still quite what we want. So go back up to the layers here, and for freestyle, we want to turn off everything but the freestyle. And under the render layer, we'll turn off freestyle even though there's no line sets running. It might give performance gains when we turn that off. Now what we want to do is change our color here to a bluish, and we want it to be a different blue than the blue of the cubes, because otherwise you're not going to really notice it too much. And then we're going to change the thickness too, so we'll add a modifier, distance from camera, select the furthest object from the camera and the closest, fill range by selection, and give it a test render. And okay, well, we're still seeing the black from the lines that are visible, so let's fix that right away. We were on the hidden, so if we click this little arrow here, copy line set, we're copying it to the clipboard, then click on visible, and we're actually going to do paste line set, and then we'll rename that to visible. And now if we render it, we get, well, a bunch of stuff that we can't see, and it looks really confusing. So what we're going to do is go right back down here and make sure that our visible is set to visibility of visible, because we were set to the hidden when we copied that. So we're noticing that the farthest point from the camera, this point right here, is the thickest line, and the closest point, which actually would be right about here but is invisible because it's set to 0, is the thinnest point. That's not what we want. So what we're going to do is click the invert button, change our minimum value to 0.25, and we'll amp the max up to 1.5. If we render here, closest point is thickest, furthest away point is the thinnest. And now you're also probably going to notice that I didn't change those settings on both of these, I just changed it down to 1. But when you do the copy set here, what I've noticed it does is it really links all of the freestyle line style information between the two, and all you really do is change the options here. So every change I make in the line style is automatically mirrored to the hidden portion, the hidden line sets. So we have that set up, we have the cubes. Let's jump over into the compositing and mix these two together. just gonna get rid of those. Turn on nodes, turn on backdrop. Duplicate that. And set it up to our freestyle lines. Make an output here of a viewer, so we have something to use as our backdrop. Do a color alpha over. We're going to pop the freestyle on top of, which you'll notice the little lines there. But we kind of want to make these lines look like they're glowing. And to do that, we're going to use a mix node and a filter blur. And we're going to blur the render layer here, about 5 pixels. Play with it till you find something that works for your scene. And then we're going to run those both together and put it with an add node here, which you'll notice gives it this little bit of a blur, so it kind of looks like it's glowing. Let me just move that all out of the way so we can kind of see our image. You notice in places where it's building up that there's more object there. It blocks up more of this black background, and we have our lines. This looks really high quality, maybe too high quality. So let's go mess it up a little bit. Under geometry in the freestyle line set, we can add some displacement options. Now, if we were just doing a still image, we could use sinus displacement. And let's pop this to the composite. I think I forgot to plug that into the composite node here. Yes, I did. Let me just select all, move that, pop that in there. Now when we pull up our composite, you're going to have to re-render it.